the live stream with YouTube, so
Okay, content of this
Did you
meeting
did you
prepare
did
thy
you
sent
record?
asses.
out.
Did you hit
Okay.
record? Did you hit record?
Yes, yes, I did. Thank you so
Okay. Now,
much.
okay, so question, when people ask questions,
It'll be in the YouTube chat. I'll probably be
oh,
looking at it.
okay, so then
Yeah.
I need to
You
see
can
if I
open up
can't.
the YouTube channel if you want to, or otherwise I will just say what people are asking. So, yep. So we are about to get started. And hey,
Okay, I got it.
Morgan,
How do
Momo.
I
Hey y'all, give me about
just make
five
sure
seconds. I'll hop on the camera.
make sure you mute the volume if you've got YouTube
I'm
up.
trying to figure out how to do that now. There it goes.
Okay.
That. Okay, got it.
All right, we are live in
And
five,
then
4.
okay, open panel to join the conversation.
It's okay.
Okay. I think I'm
Um,
here.
I think you are too. So we are
Oh,
live in
wait,
5,
it
4.
disappeared. Wait, there is everybody.
I feel like I'm back doing my tech support job.
Oh, hi, Morg. Hi, Miss Morgan.
All right, so once again, live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
I'll give you the hair tie right off of my wrist. I'll turn it up if you play Taylor Swift. I'll gas you up when you're acting unhinged. If you're done, if you're pissed, I'll help you burn down a bridge. I'm an always got time for my girls, girl. Wherever you are in the world, girl, I'll be right there when you call me up. If you need to cry or wanna get drunk, I'll be your number one hype girl. I got your back in a fight, girl. Round after round, I'm always down. There ain't no doubt I'm a girl's girl. Yeah, there ain't no doubt I'm a girl's girl. Hey. Woo! Round after round, I'm always down. There ain't no doubt I'm a girl's girl.
Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, May the 20th of the year of our Lord Beyonce 2025. We are here. We are still alive. We have all so far survived this dumb shit ass presidency that we're going through right here. And we're here. We are the Hurricane Girls. We are broadcasting live on youtube.com at Hurricane Girls. We will be, excuse me, we will be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts after this, and the show will then go to WHDR, Hurricane Girls Radio, live 24/7. Hurricane Girls all day, every day. And if you don't get enough of us there, I don't know what to do for you because damn, that's a lot of hurricanes. Um, we're here tonight. We're struggling through the week. It's Tuesday. It's been a hell of a week today. And I am always happy to just be here to cap it all off with the people I love most in this world, which is y'all. So we are provisionally certified by the Creator Accountability Network. Some of y'all had to go to that today and work on that. That is a network that would hopefully keep all of us in line. Basically, if something goes wrong on the show that you feel has done harm, you can reach out to the creatoraccountabilitynetwork.org to talk it out through us, help us correct our problems. And it just gives us, I think, a way to be held accountable, and I love that. So if you just came over from the Calm Before the Storm live on TikTok, hi. That's Hurricane Mary's live there. And got a lot going on, but let's introduce you all to our guest and to our hurricanes here. Um, to my immediate left, I have the author of The Year of Dating Myself, coming out in July 7th from Simon and Schuster. July 7th, July 9th. Am I missing? I don't know.
Whatever
July
that
something.
day is, it's oh July.
Yeah. It's coming out and you should read it because it's going to be amazing. Abby Rosemarin. Hi, Hurricane Abby.
Hello, hello. Apparently it's well, you know what? It averages out July 8th.
July. Okay. right there in the middle. Down diagonally from me, I have the super talented film composer, musician, and extraordinary teacher, Jen Lennon. Hi, Hurricane Jen. How are you?
Hey, Mama. It's a cold and stormy, dreary day in Chicago, so I'm really hoping to make it through the show without getting booted off.
Oh my gosh,
Otherwise,
yeah.
I'm good.
I'm not gonna lie, I just sat here and had a moment with Snow White calling me, "Hey, Mama."
Ooh.
I
My
love it.
goodness,
I
Sheila.
love it. Oh my gosh, no, always looking beautiful and radiant. And speaking
Likewise.
of beautiful and radiant, right below me, we have the salty historian, Hurricane Mary. And
Hello.
you are so goddamn pink today. I can't even stand you. Like I went a little bit pink. You went the fucking you dumped the whole paint can over you.
And the worst part is that I don't like pink, except in your hair.
I'm just saying, you know.
It suits you.
It suits you too. Listen, we're a little 80s glam this week because Mary and I have
Oh,
a concert to go to this weekend.
like
Pat
literally my
Benatar.
eyeshadow, my eyeshadow is disco drop. So
I love
same.
it. I love it. I've got to come up with something before Friday. Oh, look at these nails on Marie. Oh my God. Those are
Hello.
gorgeous. Yes.
Those are awesome.
And then who was below me just a moment ago, but Hurricane Morgan, all the way from the great state of Texas here, our baby accountant. How are you doing today?
Burn, baby, burn.
Yes.
Burn, baby, burn.
Disco Inferno, yeah.
Baby, burn. 3.2. Burn,
Yes.
burn. 2 A's and a B. What do y'all think?
I
Hell
love it.
yes.
I love it. Yes. Summer is almost here. Graduations are happening. We're finishing up semesters, and you just killed it this semester. Loved
Yeah.
it.
Shout out to all my professors. But Professor Orwin, you know you could have rounded that up, but it's okay. Hey, I made my goal. I said my goal was a B. It would have been nice to have an A, but
Do you know what they call the person who graduates last in their medical school class?
What?
Doctor.
Doctor. So
My advisor used to say
I mean,
C's get degrees.
exactly.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Need
well,
for diploma.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to Howard University with my master's. So
Hell yeah, girl.
Yeah,
Shoot
so-
for
Get
it.
it, girl.
You got it.
Go
You
for
will.
it.
There you go.
You
Go for
got
it.
this. Oh my gosh. And here now below me again, here is Hurricane Sim, our heart of the crew, our therapist, our lovely big little sister. Love, how are you doing today, love? Could you stay out of a tornado, please? That's all I'm asking.
I'm doing my damnedest. I am doing my damnedest. I sent the weather up to Jen. Sorry about that. Love you to
I
bits.
thought you did.
You know, I wanted to send you something. I didn't know how to wrap it. So I was like, what can I send her that, that will just keep her warming up, keep her on her toes
You got it.
tonight.
So
honestly,
appreciated. Thank
but
you.
some of it came over to Ohio, and it's cold, and it's
Sorry about that.
Yep.
and Sim, you know that after March, I don't wear pants. I don't wear.
Yeah, but see, this is that
Okay.
part. That part was payback for you going to Pat Benatar without the rest of us. So.
Oh.
I mean,
No,
you know,
I'm going. Not
yeah, I was
the
gonna
rest
say
of us. I'm going.
not just the rest of us.
That's why I sent the other part of it up to you, Mary. That's why the
I
other part
just-
of it coming up to
The
you.
wrap
she-
of Sim.
Sheila doesn't wear pants after March. I don't wear clothes year round. So
I mean, hey, I love it.
Can I just
Hey.
Can I
Yeah.
just add too that along with Disco Inferno, the song that keeps going through my head is "Burning Down the House" by Talking Heads. Like
Or
that's
the
all
roof-
week. It's been
the
going
roof
through my
is
head.
on
Oh,
fire.
Exactly.
for some
I love
reason,
that
one
burning
that
down
keeps
the house.
running in my head is
Party of one, Mo.
the Midnight Oil song.
Oh,
Yeah, beds are
yeah.
burning. Yes,
Yeah, beds are burning.
I love
Yes,
it.
good one. Good one.
Before we introduce our lovely guest today, I just want to let you know what we've got coming up here on the show. We've got some amazing guests coming on, as well as the amazing talent you see around us here today. Next month, we are going to be celebrating the year of dating myself coming out. We're gonna take a episode and just talk to Abby about that and see by the time we read it, I hope that we've actually heard it all from her. So it'll be anticlimactic, but we'll be talking about that next month. We have several great guests. Half Gringo will be here in July to talk about their musical career and their albums. Um, my friend JL from TikTok is going to come over. We're going to talk a little bit about male privilege and talk a little bit of shit about men that day. Um, we're also going to be meeting Ashley, Musical Nugget, who, if you've been around on TikTok, you might have heard her sing live. She's got the voice of a goddamn angel. And can't wait to visit with her. Casey X is going to be with us. And next week, my daughter, Samantha Kadena, going to talk to us about her life. And
Yay.
she was she was adopted out of China, abandoned at birth, and adopted to a U.S. family. And it's been a rough go of her for her, but she is now just like our Morgan in school, killing it, getting on the dean's list. And she's going to talk to us about her experiences a little bit and just visit with her because it's my kiddo. But tonight, we are graced with and honored by the presence of Marie Willa, transgender woman extraordinaire. And I cannot emphasize that last part enough. Um, I love the blue hair. I love the attitude. I just love the fact that you have been in my life for the past year or so, and you're one of the TikTokers that I learn from, that I look
Oh,
at because you're,
wow.
as one trans elder to another, it's like, you've been doing this for a while longer than me, and I love just watching you give your thoughts about life. And I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that here tonight, but we'll also bullshit a little bit too.
Yeah.
Um, there are no filters here. We are the Hurricane Girls, or the Daughters of Darkness, the Sisters of Rage. We are the Goddess's Curse on mediocre gonzo dick ass men. We are nature's happy little accidents. Y'all
Ah,
know what we're
I
talking
wouldn't
about.
I wouldn't call us accidents, but yeah. Um,
I love it. So, Marie Willa, how are you tonight?
I am feeling honored, humbled, um, extremely confused, um, giddy,
Love it.
a little anxious and nervous. But before we begin, I've kind of been watching the chat over here, and I want to give a shout out to some of the people that I recognize. For example, I see my friend Leslie Rose is in here.
Ooh.
Um, Hi, everybody. I'm glad you could join us.
We've got Greg, Ash, John Quia. We've got Bell and Andy B. And I hope I didn't miss anybody there because we got our executive producer, Alia. And coming into the room, we have our newest hurricane. So let's take a moment to say hey to Hurricane Elizabeth, Hurricane Liz. Hey, girl.
Hi, Liz.
Hey.
Snaps. Hey, Liz.
Those of you who have been with
Oh,
Hurricane Girls for a while might remember Elizabeth Lavas, the author of Anne Boleyn, History and Portraits, and as well as author of many IEPs. She is a special education advocate and the CEO of what's the name of the company?
We Get It Foundation.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Goddamn right, that's the name of it. So welcome to the show. She is a permanent hurricane now. And so happy to have you. Gosh, this panel is ballooned here, and I love it. I love it seeing all of y'all here. But Marie, tell us about
yes.
yourself. Tell us where you come from. Tell us all that kind of
Uh,
stuff.
Well, I come from lots of places. Well, first off, let me introduce myself. Hello, everyone. I am Marie Willa, transgender woman extraordinaire. Um, you're going to ask me what makes me so extraordinaire. Um, I am 61. I've been married a little over 32 years, raised two kids, raising a third that we adopted. I am alive. I'm thriving. Um, when I should have been dead multiple times over. Uh, I'm at the top of my craft in what I do for a living. Without what I do for a living, um, things like this podcast would not be possible. Yourself talking on your cell phone or watching your cable TV or satellite TV or streaming services, none of that would work.
So what you're saying is
Um,
you're in telecommunications then, right?
I am I am a network technical specialist for a global telecommunications company, and I work on all of the equipment, everything that it takes for an undersea fiber optic cable to be able to transmit data under the ocean.
Okay. So thank you for allowing the Zoom to happen tonight. I appreciate that.
Well,
And fairly we're live on YouTube, so that works too.
I, I will be honest. I still think y'all are insane for having me on here because, like, my gosh, you've had guests like Mary on here,
Mary's not
and
a guest. Mary's an
oh,
institution here.
at one point she was a guest. I remember.
Mhm. Yeah.
You
You know,
got
that's funny you mentioned that because the people who started on this show are way outnumbered by the guests that stayed because Abby was a guest first, then Jen. Elizabeth was a guest before all of them, and then Mary was a guest. So it's just me and Morgan and Sim who started out as Hurricane Girls, not guests. So that's okay. You know, I
and
love
see,
it.
look, you've got professors, CEOs, um,
Mhm.
salty historians,
We've got
authors.
we've got powerful femmes on here. That's
Yes,
what we
you
have.
do.
Yes.
Yes, you do. And then you got me.
Well, again, we wouldn't be talking on the phone if it wasn't for you. But
Oh,
yeah, no, it's that's one of the things I've loved about doing this show is that it's created such a safe space that people when they come into it, that women when they come into it, they feel safe coming back, not only safe coming back, but want to come back. Like these are not the only former guests. Like we've had several that have reached out afterwards. We've had Jessica Bloomkey from the Friendly Atheist who's come back and will always come back whenever, usually whenever I ask her to. If she's not doing something else, she'll come back in. We've had Courtney Klinkert who is still in. I just got added on Facebook by Jennifer Reeder.
um,
So I mean,
That's awesome.
is
yes,
there also a chat here? Because I'll
there
see.
is. Yes, there
Okay,
is.
how do I see that?
There should be a chat button, but to be honest, we don't use it as much unless it's just something that
Okay,
because this doesn't go out to the internet. This is just an inter-host
okay,
chat. So
cool.
what part of the country are you from, Marie?
Well, as I said, I'm from lots of places. I was born May 1st, 1964 at 1:35 a.m.
Damn,
at a
down to the
little
second.
hospital in Indianapolis, Indiana called Methodist Hospital. I think they call it something else now. I don't know what they call it now, but it was I was literally born on a meridian line, which I know that's some kind of weird piece of trivia, but I find it unique. I currently, though, um, I reside on the coast of California. Um, I have a home where I live up in Fort Bragg, California, which is on the coast of Mendocino County. And for those that may not be aware, Mendocino County is one of the 3 counties that comprise the Emerald Triangle. And for those that do not know what the Emerald Triangle is, it is what they consider the grow capital of the devil's lettuce in the United States.
Ooh.
But my job, so I rent a room about 7 to 8 hours south of there, in a little kind of a hippie, artsy kind of place called Los Osos, which is just outside of San Luis Obispo.
Well,
But
we have another Californian on the panel here tonight.
oh, very cool. What part,
Yeah.
Liz?
I'm actually in Contra Costa County, so it's in the SF Bay Area.
Okay, so just about halfway between here and where I live.
Yes.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. There used to be, I don't know if it's still there. There was a nudist resort up there that I used to go to. My wife and I went there once or twice. Um, I can't remember the name of it now, but we stayed in this really neat yurt. Um, it was kind of cool, but I think they got busted for I think they were stealing water.
Listen, you've got
I mean, we
Morgan.
always,
You got
yeah.
Morgan. Morgan's muted, but she's going on about the Boom Boom Beach here. Yeah, I think we've got her sold.
Well,
Okay.
we still have Baker Beach, which is the, predominantly nude beach out here.
That's
I don't know if you've ever
that's
been
the
there.
one. Baker Beach, if I'm not mistaken, that is the one that if you're coming south on 101, you cross the Golden Gate and immediately take a right and go down the hill and around the curve and big parking lot. You get out and then you got to walk through, oh, probably a good 1,500 feet to get to the nude section of the beach. Love that place. Yes, the beach where
Morgan,
you can.
I'm gonna need you to unmute at this point because I'm hearing your joy, but I'm seeing your joy, but I'm not hearing it. What's going on?
All I gotta say is why, baby. First I thought a boom boom room was something, but a boom boom beach.
Mm.
Well, all right.
Miles of debauchery.
Well, they don't
You know,
allow you to wear cameras, so
it's surprisingly enough, if it's a um, the types of beaches that I would frequent or the type of resorts, the events that I would go to, they are very family friendly. We don't allow, and I don't want to call it debauchery, but we don't. We police ourselves. There's no, we don't, no sex takes place where anybody could see. You want to have sex? Okay, you take it to your room. You know, not saying that sex doesn't happen, but um, well, my personal philosophy is that there might be nudity in my sexual activity, but there's never any sexual activity in my nudism.
okay.
Um,
I can respect
and
that.
and that way, and I've raised my family that way. I was raised that way. Um, and it's like we take my grandson Nathan, we take him with us to Laguna del Sol, which is in Wilton. It's a family-friendly nudist resort. It's certified by the American Association of nude recreation. Um,
I didn't even know there was such a
yes,
organization. I
yes.
mean, that's
There's
interesting.
there's also organization called the Nature Society. There's also the Young Naturist. There's actually quite a few different organizations. The only two that I know of that will certify places are the Nature Society and the American Association of Nude Recreation. And if an establishment, event, or a location has either of those or certifications, um, then and you go there, then you can most likely expect to see whole families from, the little toddler running around to the oldest adult. And, you know,
That Morgan asks a really good question there. So Morgan,
yeah,
ask it.
First of all, I'm trying to hold my laughter because
I swear, y'all are gonna have to share some of this funny with the rest of the
yes,
world
Morgan
here.
brings
Here.
out the
so-
worst
Yeah.
in me.
okay,
Yeah.
so
What was
okay,
your question
so
though? I really want to hear the answer to it.
okay, so my question was because Liz mentioned that there's a nude bicyclist in Berkeley. First of all, shout out to Kaiser Permanente. Second of all, I basically said boom boom on wheels was not on my bingo card, but I got a good question. What happens when the men folk are riding their bikes and they get excited and something's flapping in the air?
it
Like,
doesn't
what happens
happen.
with that?
It doesn't happen.
So
Here's the thing.
they don't
No,
wear no clip or nothing?
here's what a lot of people fail to realize. When everybody is nude together, it becomes very commonplace. And um, you pick up on that vibe and realize, oh wow, there's no none of that sexual tension taking place. The greatest object for sex is right here. It's in your brain. And if you aren't thinking about it, it it really, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I'm sure that you know there's some spontaneous um, erections that happen, but one of the rules that we have, like when we go to a resort, um, if a guy gets an erection, well, cover yourself up with a towel, or go back to your RV, your tent, or your camper, or your room, and wait for it to reside. But most
Yeah.
of the time, you're never going to see it. It just doesn't happen because um, we aren't engaged in any activity that would stimulate that type of thought pattern. Uh,
I
we're
love that.
engaged in we're playing volleyball. We're sitting around talking. And here's something else to think of when um, we're talking to you. We're not talking to your crotch. We're not talking to your chest. We're talking to your face, looking you in the eyes, and that you are always naked there.
You are. That's true. And I'm gonna tell you, some people's eyes, I'm looking at all y'all around here, are extremely attractive. So yeah, I mean that's an interesting point though, that like, because I remember that being a young person living in a teenage boy body, a car ride would cause things to come up, you know.
Mhm.
Um just, a stiff breeze. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can imagine stuff like that might happen, but I guess if you're looking at it with an attitude of like this is normal, this is not something sexual, this is actually a thing that everybody literally has, you know.
Mhm.
50% of us have one organ and 50% of us have the other. All of us have tits, you know, like
And we
it's
all have brains.
right.
Some of us
It's
don't.
always
And but some of us may not use them. Some of us may not
Exactly.
use them, but we
Exactly,
have
Luke.
Mary
them.
is begging to differ here. Like, yeah,
You're Mary itching. She's like
They
chomping
might,
pits.
yeah, they might have brains. That doesn't mean they have minds, and that's the part that's necessary. A brain
There
is
we
not a
go.
mind.
There we
that
go.
part,
There we
that
go.
part is, and like me personally, I can't connect with somebody on that level if I haven't already made a connection with the mind. I'm
Absolutely.
demisexual in that way. So, you know, it could be somebody that, you know, is standing up there right in front of me, buck ass naked, and I'm just like,
Yeah, see,
okay.
that does nothing for me.
Yeah, because
Well,
we're
if you,
women. We need that emotional connection. We need the psychological connection.
yeah,
It's who we
Amen.
are.
and when you know, I think about this on like I think on this like if I were in a strip club or something like that, I'm just because a woman is naked and I'm attracted to women. You know, just because a woman is naked doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to be like, you know,
But I
Mhm.
think
gonna be like, you know, I gotta bang that, you know.
I think there's a difference though, because now mind you, and I'm going to say this with a little bit of a caveat. If you're going to a strip club, um,
I haven't been in
now
decades,
mind you,
but yeah.
you control your own actions.
Mhm.
However, going to the strip club, it is intended to be, I don't know that sensual is quite the right word, but I think sexual is much too powerful of a word to use. Somewhere in
Erotic,
between
titillating.
erotic, titillating. I think,
Right.
yeah, very good words. So the intention is to arouse, I think, is a good word to use.
Titillating.
Um,
Thank you, Abby. Yes.
um,
Yeah.
but again, you know, it's up to each individual to determine what they're going to do with it, and that's right here. You know,
My friend Abby here is holding the comedy back for the internal chat. We need to hear this loud.
come on,
Go,
yes,
say some
please,
fuck shit out loud.
The
yes, get me to change the topic.
I got a story.
Oh, we like stories.
Yeah, don't worry. Since it's on topic, it's not gonna go in the paywall. The other one we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Well, the
We're
tea,
all over
Abby.
here. We're all over here keeping straight. Well, we're trying to keep straight
trying
faces, but
to.
none of us can do
Real
it except
quick,
Morgan and Sim.
Greg Dahl, that's exactly right. What they
What do you
said in
say?
the YouTube chat says when everyone is naked, it doesn't take long to get used to it. If you're not used to it, it's shocking for maybe the first 5 minutes. Then it's all just people.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All right,
makes
Morgan.
sense.
because the first time I went to a strip club, I was 27. I know, late bloomer. I was like it was in my hometown. I was like Uber driver. This was before I had moved back to Houston. Oh, the bittersweet feelings being here. So go to the strip club. It's like my first time. I'm just like making extra cash, you know, taking people to and fro. Sometimes we take the girls, you know, if they need a ride home, take them home and all that. Well, I'm not really used to seeing women aside from myself and my mom and my sister with no clothes on, you know, just, you know, familiarity. So there was this girl, pretty girl, just topless, cute little chi-chis. Hi, what's your name? Me. Hi, I'm Morgan. It's nice to meet you. And she was like, you know, she was like, why are you doing that? You know, she was like, why are you doing that? And I said, oh, to respect you because, you know, I'm not. She was like, girl, she said, girl, it's your first time being in a strip club. I said, yeah, pretty much. I was like, I don't know if I should, because when I look at people, I literally look at like everything, not straight to their face, and I'm like, I don't want this girl to think I'm over here being the purse. She was like, did any of the girls talk to you? And I was like, no. She was like, oh, why not? And I was like, girl, look, it's fine. I was like, look, it's fine. I like dudes anyway, so whatever. I'm like, let them girls talk to the little country boys, and let them do their thing, whatever. We having a good old convo, we laughing. All of a sudden, some dudes come over to our table, and then the other strippers try to come over here, and I'm like, nah, Becky, this is reserved. Next.
Oh, it's time to see Abby's pussy on camera.
Yay!
Woo!
Yes.
All this talk about tits, and it's like I got two pussies just hanging out.
Oh, the pussies.
Yeah.
Did you all see? Did you all see the video, the TikTok I made of my kitty on my kitty with my dog, with my puppy Oscar?
Oh, we
You,
have to
you
see
can
that.
say the words here. It's okay. We're
No,
not.
in the video I said it's my kitty on my kitty.
I haven't seen it yet. I'll check that out.
Yes,
Ah,
my
wait!
kid. Yes,
We're
my
having
kitty.
too much fun.
Yes.
It's not even hour 2. It's not even the second
It's not
hour.
even, yeah, hour 2 is usually when we kick into overdrive and get really dirty, but like,
Oh,
All right,
right.
no,
let's just go ahead and
we're
get
having
the
too much fun.
go ahead and get the pussy jokes out of the way here, and just, yeah, here we
Okay,
are.
fine. Are we telling jokes? Okay, I've got
We can
two.
tell a
Do you
joke.
want? Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear them?
Wait, two
Yes.
what? 2 jokes?
Jokes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Sure.
Do you know why people with vaginas should masturbate with these 2 fingers?
Ouch! Why?
What?
Because they're mine.
Oh my God. Jen has gone completely off camera here.
Okay, and one more.
Mm.
Do you know why people with vaginas prefer older folks for gynecologists?
Because they know what they're doing.
You ready?
Oh my God.
Why?
That's a joke for the YouTubers, not the Spotifyers. But yeah, that's amazing. Oh my God.
I got
Very-
banned on
very-
TikTok for I got banned on TikTok Live for 30 days for telling those 2 jokes.
What is it? Every time a trans woman gets a little sexual, they're banning us off there. I just give 1 pickle a blow. Okay, 2 pickles a blowjob on TikTok.
We lost person.
3 pickles.
Sheila.
3 pickles.
Okay, Sheila, the problem is that they were too big. You were affecting egos.
Oh, damn, Mary. Damn.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I remember back when I had my
4
Sheenas.
pickles.
Back when I had my Sheenas, before I traded it in for a V-port, I would get these guys. They would send me their dick pics, and I used to piss them off so bad when I'd send them a picture of mine, and it was bigger.
Yes. Yes. True story.
Baby,
I have never gotten a dick
got
pic.
that hammer.
I just turned 49 years old and I have never gotten a dick pic.
Oh my God, Mary. We've
Oh
gotta
God,
get
I
you-
get
we're
them.
gonna get you
I
out
still
there.
get them. I am 61 and look like this, and I'm still every day. I open up my private messages either on Facebook or TikTok or Blue Sky or MeWe or somewhere, and I'm getting, hey, beautiful. Can I send you some money?
Bankrupt them, sis. Bankrupt them.
Why, yes. In fact, you can send me money, but you're not
Yes.
getting anything. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And Sim's over there kissing and licking on her pussy there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Alice. Are you feeling? Is it Alice or Alice?
Oh, yeah.
Aya, are you feeling better, Aya? I see.
We
I see
definitely
you over in
have to-
chat.
Yeah.
I hope you're feeling better.
Oh my God, this is such a cute kitty.
Simmy stroking her pussy. Look how cute.
So
Aw.
much care and attention to touching that pussy.
Aw. Now I
Liz-
feel like I need to grab mine because mine is right next to me. The
Grab
little
the
girl.
By the
Oh,
pussy.
Grab the pussy.
not the Snow White pussy.
Ah,
Yeah.
you know what?
Liz, we've changed a little bit since you've been here.
This
Maybe-
Noya,
Yeah.
my little girl.
She's
Say
a
hi,
little
Noya.
Aw.
Isn't she
Oh my
beautiful?
God.
My little
Could you
baby.
be more?
Beautiful.
Oh,
Is one of
Could-
my familiars.
Could you
Oh,
be
yeah.
more witchy? Oh my God.
I
love
know,
that
I have
kitty.
two.
Oh.
Two black familiars. Mwah.
Wait until I get my little black kitten. I'm naming her Sparkle Elizabeth Polk. I said what I said.
You've already
Morgan,
got
I
one.
would just die to meet her. I can't wait till you get her.
You've already got one. Oh, wait. Sorry, never mind.
And there we go.
Yep.
Over.
Hey,
Over
and
it
you,
now.
and you and you know what? And she's the best out of all of them.
Oh, there you go.
If you don't believe me, ask my ex-boyfriends. I take no prisoners.
So,
Sim,
does anybody?
I just want to offer my sincerest apologies to Sim for the therapy she's going to have to do after the show.
Yeah. She's gonna be working
Yeah.
overtime.
Does
Yeah.
anybody ride a motorcycle?
Sim, not you,
yeah.
right?
There's adult beverages that have my name on it. Trust me. After the
If I were looking around
Okay.
the room and thinking of any of us that rides a motorcycle, it's gonna be Elizabeth. Like Liz, are you the one that rides the motorcycles? No,
I used
It's
to.
looking at me like, no, why would I do that?
I currently ride a
Yeah.
2009. I currently
Yeah.
ride a 2019 Harley Ultra Electric Glide.
Oh, okay. She's into the Harleys.
Yes. I grew up with Harleys.
Oh, they're good bikes.
Yes. Well, the older ones, they will shake, rattle, and roll you to death. But they'll be the
That's for
last.
sure.
I guarantee you, the older Harleys, they'll be the last vibrator you ever need.
Okay.
Nowadays, not so much. They're pretty good bikes now. They don't.
Abby, are
They
you a
don't
biker?
Not a biker, unfortunately. The most I've ever done is be the person behind and holding on for dear life.
You strike me as owning a Vespa, though, Abby. I could totally see you on a Vespa.
You know what? While I don't have one, that would be fucking awesome to get one.
I could totally see that for
I'm
you.
always saying that I see Abby as kind of this reserved, shy person, but then she does these insane things, and I'm like, oh my God, where did that come from? So I figured my motorcycle would be right up that alley. Here,
You
I've
know,
only been on
I'm
one
tattooed
time.
up like it, so I might as well.
You are, yeah. I've only been on one my entire life, and it was in China, and it was like a little taxi. The guy I was looking for a taxi. The guy pulled up on the motorcycle. He's like, well, quiet, $5, you know. I'm like, okay, cool. And I got on there, and I made sure my after I got off that bike, I made sure my will was certified again, because God damn, that was the scariest thing I'd ever done in my life. But I don't think it would do for me to drive one.
Well, I left Italy when I was 2, but my grandfather had a motorcycle, and so I would ride around on that. I don't remember though. And then as an adult, I had there was these local bikers who were doing the Bikers Against Child Abuse. And so they would come and like hang out with some of the like kids in the organization and all that. So I got to get on and do these little ride arounds, but yeah, no motorcycles for me.
No, none. Your life is already too exciting. Yeah,
Hey,
I
would you
think.
like to hear something I want turned into a book?
Okay, we have authors here, so let's go.
Okay. Do you have tissues handy?
Uh-oh.
Wait,
Hold on.
which direction is this going?
I don't feel like crying tonight. Come on.
Yeah, don't make us cry.
That's all right. You have
Okay.
a therapist on hand. It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you want to
Crying
tell
all
us?
week, so let's go.
It's a story I wrote. It's about my life, basically from birth until sometime early on in my transition. I wrote it actually, though, in 2019. And it's called Boys Don't Do That.
I remember that you've posted that on your TikTok.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's a pinned video on my TikTok.
Yeah, you've broken it down. It's very touching.
So I cannot read it. You can all just go to my TikTok and find it if you'd
Yeah.
like.
To read part of it. You definitely need to read it.
You know what? I'm here for it. Let's go for it. If we
Okay.
cry, we cry. Sorry, Jen.
Okay, don't mind me. I'm going to actually read it from the paper because it's like 3-4 minutes long. So yeah.
Okay. We're here for it.
She was born on a cool spring morning in early May. Congratulations, Mom and Dad. You've got a beautiful bouncing baby boy. She was given a little pat on the butt and she cried. Boys don't do that. She stood on her little feet in the foyer holding the hand of the social worker. I don't want him because he looks too much like his goddamn father. And she cried. Boys don't do that. She loved to play with dolls, dress pretty, and hang out with all the other little girls, but her parents wouldn't allow her to continue that kind of behavior. And she cried. Boys don't do that. She had some beautiful blonde, wavy hair, but they made her put grease in her hair, removing the beautiful waves. And she cried. Boys don't do that. They took her to see a psychologist to see what was wrong with her. And the doctor said, there's nothing wrong with her. Just let her be her. They couldn't do that. Instead, the abusive discipline escalated. And she cried. Boys don't do that. She sang with a wonderfully beautiful high soprano voice and was always asked to join the various chorus groups. But her parents made her intentionally try to deepen her voice. And she cried. Boys don't do that. Just be yourself. People will love you, they told her. But when she tried to be herself, they continued to beat her without mercy. And she cried. Boys don't do that. She always tried to run away from her bullies and hide in her house to be safe. Her parents always made her go fight her bullies, so she beat them without mercy. She hated that. And she cried. Boys don't do that. She would play dress up in her mom's clothes and her makeup. It's just a phase. You'll grow out of it, she was told. And she cried. Boys don't do that. She tried on her mom's bikini, saw herself in the mirror, and was astounded at how beautiful she looked and felt. She closed her bedroom door with great shame and tried to remove the appendage from between her legs because it didn't belong to her. But she failed, and she cried. Boys don't do that. She built a cage, climbed inside, locked the door, thought she threw away the key, and created the image of the man everyone told her she was supposed to be. She raged and she cried. Boys don't do that. She started finding ways to be free from the cage she built without anyone knowing she was there. But her captor was astonishingly unaware. So she raged and she cried, boys don't do that. Her captor, somehow shamefully aware of her existence, started exhibiting and participating in extremely risky behaviors to make her go away. So she raged and she cried, boys don't do that. Her captor gave her brief, joyous moments of freedom by allowing her to dress up and see herself in private, because no one could know of her existence. But due to great fear and shame, her captor always locked her away again. So she raged and she cried, boys don't do that. Her captor tried to take her with them to their grave. She wouldn't allow that to happen. Her rage began to rip the bars off her cage in order to be free, but her captor fought hard to rebuild the walls of her cage. So she raged and she cried, boys don't do that. Years of raging and hateful denial finally took its toll on her. Her loving wife and her captor spit angry words of venom at each other as she tried to break free from the self-imposed exile inside. She raged and she cried, "Boys don't do that." The walls were being ripped apart faster than they could be rebuilt. And then they were no more. And she cried, "But boys don't do that. Except I am a girl, and I do that." The end. For now.
I love that. And I feel that.
That
feel
was
that.
that was beautiful and moving.
A lot of people feel that, and I'm sad that a lot of people feel that.
The way you describe it as a captor, the male
Mm-hmm.
facade.
Mm-hmm.
I often told everybody that I had different personalities, basically almost like DID. You know, a little close to dissociative identity disorder. And in order to get out, I had to fucking kill those other alters.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's that's could not be more accurate, honestly. Oh, Morgan. Yeah, same. I am I have cried all the tears I can cry about it right now, it seems like. But I
Don't,
felt it.
hey, Morgan, if this may help, don't, a lot of people look at, they will tell me that's such a sad story. And if you look, depending upon look at it from the perspective that you look at it from, you can look at it as a story of found freedom, a story of profound strength. Um, I don't know that I want to say courage, but maybe there's some of that there. But there's a lot of joy there because
Mhm.
the little girl always knew she existed, and she did everything within her power to stay alive. You know, kind of like a force of nature. You can't kill a force of nature. It just simply exists.
Yes.
And any gender diverse person, that's what they are. They are a force of nature. You don't change that. You can't eliminate it. So look at
Yeah.
it as a story of freedom, a story of joy, a
It
story
is.
of time immemorial.
I look at it as a story of rebirth.
That
That
works
part.
too. Yeah.
When I read it, when I heard the story the first time on the TikToks, and you'd read it there, that to me was, your origin story of how you came to be, your birth essentially externally, who you always were. Um,
Yes.
and but being able to have that freedom to not have to be captive to who everyone else needed you to be and expected you to be.
Mhm.
You
And
know,
it's hard to get there. It is not easy to get to the point where I am now. It
Mhm.
and you know, a lot of people think I'm fearless. Oh gosh, no. I live in terror every day. Um, but it's a matter of instead of allowing the fear to control me and my actions, I still do what I need to do, what I want to do, in spite of that fear. And
Yes. Oh, hell yes.
the longer I continue to do what I want and what I need to do for me, for my family, and exist, despite the fear, the less powerful that fear becomes. And that's something we all have. It's within all of us. Um, and I guess I guess kind of my philosophy and why I'm so open and public about being a post-operative transgender woman is uh, save a life, change a heart, change a mind. What do I mean by that? Um, there are people from the very young to older than me, both cis and trans, um, both uh, hetero and non-hetero, who feel like I used to, unlovable, like I was unloved, like I didn't matter, that I was a freak, an abomination that did not deserve the breath of life. And when they see someone like myself, oh my gosh, that's me. I can I can I can exist too. That's me. I didn't have somebody I could point to my parents and say, see, that's me. So now I've given them a focal point, and I am hopefully helping them to find that strength and that courage within themselves to come out of their shell, their closet, their wherever they have hidden themselves away, to say, hi world, my name is, and this is who I am. And so what do I mean by changing hearts and changing minds? With the way media, like movies and television, um, newspapers, etc., with the way gender diverse people are portrayed, especially in the older days. When I was younger, we were portrayed, like the son of Sam in Silence of the Lambs. We was portrayed as what's the guy's name in the movie Psycho?
Norman Bates.
Norman Bates.
Norman Bates in the movie Psycho. We were portrayed as the the goofballs who were literally trying to get in, dressing up as women to get into women's spaces in the what was the movie? It was from like 50s or 60s. The Oddball. I can't remember the
You're
name
going
of
a
the
little bit
movie.
past my wheelhouse there.
But so we were always portrayed as these freaks, these psychopaths, these women's space invaders. You know,
Terrible
as
video game, by the way.
as opposed to portraying us as humans that are the same as everybody else. We raising families. We're, you know, working to hold down a job and pay our bills and contribute to society. So when people can see me and find out what I do for a living, that I'm raising a family, that I've been married for a little over 32 years, then they're like, oh, well, you're not what I expected a transgender person to be at all. Wow. So then that changes hearts, it changes minds, because their perception has now gone from, oh my God, they're freaks, to holy shit, they're human, just like me. They got feelings, just like me. Holy shit, they're struggling, just like me. And they see that we're just like them. And then that's how we change hearts and change minds.
I want to, Leslie Rose in the comments said, after 50 years of trying to be who I've been told I should be, when I transitioned, I told myself, it's okay. You were a good boy. That's something right there. That thought right there resonates with me too, because I don't feel like I was much of a good guy. I don't think
Thank
I
you,
was really
Justin.
meant. I don't think I was really meant to be a guy. And it's interesting seeing people be able to embrace their past selves and forgive themselves.
That's hard
It's
to,
really hard.
you know, I've
Before
done
we
some
go
stuff.
too far into any more stories, it is the top of the hour, and I do have to give a little station ID here. We are on WHDR Hurricane Girls Radio. We're on youtube.com at Hurricane Girls, and we are later to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So you can check us out at YouTube. You can check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Hurricane Girls, if you want to donate to us and help us get a few things done here. We are going into our second hour here. And it's been a great conversation so far. I do want to let you know about upcoming guests. We are going to be talking to uh, talking to Half Gringa about their music. We're going to be talking to Abby Rosemarin about her book, The Year of Dating Myself. Again, if you haven't pre-ordered it, do it now. We're going to be talking to JL from TikTok. Also, Musical Nugget is going to be here, maybe performing. I don't know yet. KCX and Sam Kadena next week will be here. And we are blessed with a glut of good women to talk to. And speaking of good women, you're here with Abby Rosemary, and here to my left here, Jen Lennon. We're here with Hurricane Sim, Hurricane Morgan, Hurricane Liz, and Hurricane Mary here, which is about as full of cast as we've been able to get because of sicknesses and jobs and everything else going on. It's so great to be here together and to hear. We've all had kind of a hellish day, I think, from what I've been hearing from everybody. Things have been kind of rough, but it was good, I think, to take a moment and to the poem. I mean, while a knife to the heart is also very true and very therapeutic, and what you said here definitely lays the background for who you are today. And I love that. I love that about you. And I've always loved how honest and open you were. I've kind of tried to emulate that. Um,
I'm sorry.
because no, I mean I've tried to emulate that because like a lot of people are like they see me and they think, okay, this is what I do when I'm on TikTok or when I'm on the podcast, and like this all goes away after that. It does not. This is me taking the trash out. This is me going to Walmart. This is me taking my kids to the art museum. This is me. Me. Period. And I've had people just come up to me and be like, when's the next performance? And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, when are you performing next? And I'm like, oh honey,
It's because you're a
you
star. Come on. Let's get real.
no,
It's because you're a star.
it's
That's
because they think that drag queens don't take off their makeup before they leave the club.
And
Like,
that's when you tell them, oh, Hurricane Girls on every
right.
Tuesday.
there you go,
And oh, by the
Marie.
way,
There you
go ahead and
go.
go ahead and stuff your dollar bills down my bra. It's
There
okay.
you go.
Well, if you're gonna
Uh,
get paid, I mean, come on.
I have been in gay clubs and have been there, just there, and drunk guys have come up and tipped me because they thought I was with the drag show.
Nice.
Like I'm like, I will take that $5. Thank you.
Seriously.
I used to get tips at some of the um, gay clubs, but not because they thought I was part of the drag show, but because they thought they could bribe their way past me.
Oh God.
So okay, so let me take you back to some of my darker days. Back
Oh,
when
we're going
back when
dark.
I still had my Sheenas. I had a manager at one point. And she, God bless her, she's now retired. Um, but she used to describe me as the Billy Badass with a chip on my shoulder, daring people to knock it off and the ass to back it up. Um, I've been a bouncer. I've been a bodyguard. I was a body back when I lived in Cape Cod. Um, I got to party with um, um, Alice's restaurant.
Arlo Guthrie?
Arlo Guthrie, thank you. That man can smoke. Oh my God, that man can smoke.
Yeah, he can.
I got to hang out with Waylon and Flowers.
Okay.
And I was bodyguard for the promoter, the concert promoter. Which means I also, when Arlo was there, when Waylon was there, I also got to be their bodyguard. But when I worked as a bouncer, people would try to tip me to see if I'd let them through. I only let the cute ones through.
Nice. Yes.
But
Yes.
but yeah, I was mean. You know, as as nice um as I and peaceful as I try to be, although I don't normally succeed much. Um, as I think the best way to word it, as capable of niceness and peacefulness as I am equally capable, if not more so, of unparalleled violence. And I think pretty much any trans woman, I can't speak for anybody else for sure, but a lot of us, um, we had this mask that we had to keep up 24/7. And more often than not, that was um, extremely toxic and extremely masculine. Toxic masculinity is the appropriate word.
Yep.
And I don't even know that toxic masculinity would have been a dark enough description of who I pretended to be.
I get that.
What did my wife see? Hell, I don't know. She still married me though.
Just round table here. Who doesn't have a dark side though? Like if oh, Mary, put your hand down right now.
Right?
Okay. Like no.
Lies, Mary, lies.
Mary, listen, I'm not even trying to hear that bullshit. You're salty. Salty. How can you not have a dark streak?
Salty is literally white.
She's salty
Not
and
necessarily.
paprika.
Not
Oh,
necessarily.
that's true.
I have seen some pink salt. I've seen some
I think
black
we see
salt.
pink salt down here.
Oh,
As a matter of
there we
fact.
go.
I
Wait,
I
did
am
you
just
say black
looking.
salt?
Yes.
Dead Sea. It has to be the Dead Sea. Has to be.
Mm,
But black salt keeps out all the bad things. So
Yes,
that's
it
what red
do.
salt.
Right? Yes, it do.
I am most scared to see Jen's dark side. Like I'm just
Yes.
like all I've ever seen of you is happy clappy kind of smiling, but we know you're fighting through some bullshit. But I guarantee you
Well,
I'll tell
when
you.
that bitch switch is flipped.
That's
One of the,
it's actually funny. That's dead on, Sheila, because if you just one thing I can't stand is like injustice and people being mistreated. And so my day gen's a little different than the night. I do have nicknames as the Dragon Lady. Or I think when Game of Thrones was really big, they'd call me Queen of the North because I was taking heads and chopping them off. It's just the Aries in me. Like I really just can't deal with you not treating people like human beings. And so yeah, you're right. If I get pushed, there's the dark side.
yeah,
But it doesn't happen often.
they just called me bitch. But you know who I think's probably got the one person in all of us here who I think I would be most terrified to cross Miss Abby up there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
Yes, Lord. Do not let the bangs fool you.
Nope.
Right. Don't let the bangs fool you. I love it. No, I could see that though. Like I gotta, Abby, we know you gotta that draw inside, but can only go so far. I mean, some of the stuff you've signed off on me doing.
Yeah, and I can be
Oh.
quite the enabler. I cannot. I try to warn my friends that I'm like, if you're looking for a voice of reason, I can't be it because I'm gonna be like, do it, do the thing. Do it now.
Hey,
I'll join
Quiet
you. We'll do it
ones.
together.
It's always the quiet ones.
Hey, all I'm saying is that she unleashes an old girl.
Dude, listen, when we first had you on, Abby, I know you remember this. I did the promo video I did for you was kind of like, I'm back, bitches. It was like really just sort of low key calling out the people who had been bullying you. And I was like, do you want me to do this, Abby? And Abby's like, I don't hate it.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and she's so I was like, I'm cutting loose, and there have been people who have done horrifying things to our Miss Abby Rosemarin here,
Look, it's
who
not about
have
Jackson.
done
I don't know
some
nothing.
bull fucking shit. And by the way, anybody out there watching who is not part of the friendly group, come at us.
Seriously.
See what you get.
as I
You don't want to.
as I used to tell people, I'm just a tall, skinny little old white woman. But you know what? Today is a good day to dance and die. Let's go at it.
It is.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
It's like a little bit of John Wayne meets Judy Garland. Like it's a good day to dance and die. Yes. I love that.
So, I mean, from shitty ass mean girls to dudes with umbrella shaped dicks, come at us, bro. This
All
we
I'm
will
saying-
fuck you up, honestly.
All I'm saying is be afraid of them, but please really be afraid of me.
Seriously.
Don't let this I love you, Jesus, for you.
The
See,
horns are holding up the halo.
Man,
Right.
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of me.
And
Don't be afraid of me. Be afraid of what I'm capable of.
Right.
Yes.
And call me a harmed little narcissist if you will. I will take your thing that you meant to hurt me. I will print that bitch up on a t-shirt and I will sell it to your friends.
Yep. Oh,
I'm
oh,
saying
it's kind
And
of
I'll
like
steal your friends.
kind of like
I'll,
the TikTok I made about transphobes needing to come up with some better insults.
I swear to Christ, yes.
It's like, you think you're a girl? Oh hell, my daddy's got bigger titties than you do. Come on now.
I love that. I love that.
Not while I'm drinking the Dr. Pepper, okay? But yeah, listen. My friend Gretchen would always say this, and she would say, I am more woman than you'll ever get and more man than you'll ever be.
Mm.
So
Snap.
Speaking of Gretchen, I have not seen Gretchen in so long. What is going on?
she's had to move. She moved up north to be in a safer space. She's here. She's
Oh,
around. But yeah, I
yeah.
mean, it's she also left the villain skill when I did too. So
Mm.
yeah, that was a whole fucking mess. But again, another example of I choose violence. You know, you fucked me over. I choose the violence. I'm going with calling people out every goddamn time. And that makes it dangerous for me as a trans woman, I think, sometimes because I am such a loudmouth bitch. But
Yeah.
at the same time, people have asked me about this, why today? Why in this environment? Because the alternative for me was fucking suicide.
Right?
That's it.
Right? I that so I never okay. I made the attempt once when I was, oh gosh, I was 18. I
You
think I was
got
about
better, it looks like.
18. Um, but at, before I finally began my transition, it got to the point where I I did it. I wasn't actively trying to um, commit suicide, but I would dream of, you know, because out here on the coast we got lots of landslides and trees falling over, and I would just dream or pray that, I'd go around the curves and a landslide would push me off into the ocean. Or,
It'd be
damn
so
it,
easy.
damn it, the tree fucking missed.
Mhm.
Um, uh, and I would take, as it said, in the poem, um, her captor tried to take her with them to their grave. Um,
Mhm.
I would do things that, phew, people don't do, that people that are trying to stay alive,
Mhm.
you don't do, you know. I would take my motorcycle on the hell, it'd be nothing. And this is on a touring bike, and it was nothing for me to, you know, take it up to 100, 110, 120.
Mhm.
Um, and scraping the pegs, scraping the rails, going around a curve, way too fast. Um, because part of me wanted to die, part of me wanted to live.
Mhm.
And I don't know what finally, I can't say that there was any particular switch that got toggled that said, no, you're going to live. And but something somewhere on that timeline made me want to live. And so now here I am. I get to
You
torture the
are.
world.
My
I get
my
to torture the
biggest
world. Be a bitch.
my biggest attempt, one of my attempts, but the most long-lasting attempt to kill myself was I just didn't take care of my body. If the doctor said doctor, I would eat garbage. I got up to over 350 pounds. I was diabetic, had heart problems and everything like that, and I didn't give a fuck
Right.
because I was just like, fine, this body sucks. I don't want this, but I don't want this body. I don't care if this body lives or dies. And and my ex-wife would always be like, why aren't you taking care of yourself? And I'm like, because I don't fucking
I am so sorry,
care.
Liz. I guess I should have given a trigger warning and I
Oh,
didn't think of
sorry.
it. My
Yeah.
No, it's
apologies.
fine. It's fine. I was just saying that that's and for the YouTube and everywhere else the podcast is going to
Oh,
be. Just so you
trigger
know,
warning. Sorry.
I stated that I'm sorry for silence. It's a bit of a trigger subject just for me. That's why I was quiet. So I'm not
But
trying to
you're
like
right.
not.
I was being thoughtless.
Oh
I
no,
know, I
I
no,
know.
it's fine. I just no, it wasn't that. That's why I'm quiet about it because I'm not ready to confront that part of my history. But it doesn't
right.
mean that I don't support everybody here
It's
and support these
And
voices.
that's
we
not an easy part to that's not an easy part to confront.
It's
That's
not.
Mhm.
And
and
coming
we
out
that
of
support you. We
coming
support
out
you.
of
I need you to know that. Okay.
and coming out of that mindset is very hard. Speaking of
Hmm.
which, I myself was taught off the ledge just this past Tuesday. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still here, Morgan.
I'm
yeah,
glad all of you are still here.
I finally, like, every time I say I'm about to do something to myself, I end up feeling sick. And I literally just got over all the fog. I'm still in crisis mode, but it's slowly leaving away. It's like a thunderstorm that rages on.
I've said
Yeah,
this
what
to all
Greg
of
just
y'all
said.
before that everybody in this group in this window right now, everybody that's in this group came to the Hurricane Girls in a time of crisis and in a time of need. I'm still trying to figure out you, Jen, but um but as far as as far as I can tell, we all needed to be here and for various different reasons. And that's why I'm glad that you were here with us, Liz. And I want you to be with us here for a long, long time to come. And it's a thing. I think it's not just even a trans thing. I think it's a woman thing. I think it's possibly even a
Oh,
humanity thing, but
I was going to
definitely,
say, I
yeah.
don't even know that it's a woman thing. I think it's a human thing. I mean, like Greg was just talking about
Hmm.
knowing somebody that, you know, doing stuff like that.
Yeah. Not
I
giving
think
a
it's a
fuck.
human thing,
But
where we just don't care. I mean, we do, but our actions scream otherwise.
I've told everybody here about my basket of fucks that I have to give. And I have a collection of fucks that I have to give, and I have each one of you. There's a line item in my fuck budget of fucks I have to give. So don't ever feel like you're overburdening me by coming to me and being like, "Hey Sheila, can I have one of your fucks today?" Like, no, I got you. Whether I'm in the right headspace or not, whether I'm tired or anything like that, I have built in this budget a line item of fucks for each one of you. That includes you, Marie, too, by the way. And you know what? I'm willing to spend those at any given time to make sure that my Hurricane Girls are well.
You
And
know, that's something that's
that's
still hard,
mm,
really hard for me is reaching out when
so what
when I
I'm
need
hearing you
talk.
say is that we should reach out to you and check on you?
Um, that's probably a good idea, but you might just get you may very well just get an "I'm fine."
And then I'm gonna say bullshit, bitch. Spill the tea.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
You and I have already had conversations about this, Miss Marie, and you know I love an.
Listen, one
I,
of the first few times I met Marie Willa was on My Lives, and this bitch down here below me, Sim, made us both cry on on my goddamn
yes,
live
yes.
because she was getting us cracked down into childhood and shit, and I was sitting there like, what the fuck is happening here? Like Sim, this is why Sim is here on the show right now, because she is such a skilled therapist. She does it so she doesn't have to deal with her own problems, but that's something else.
Oh,
that is neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there. But no, you had me and Marie on the live just crying our fucking eyes out over our
yep,
childhoods.
yep.
And I remember Marie looking at you, Sim, and saying, Simran, I used to like you.
Yep, I recall that. Oh,
But
Oh my God.
I think, it goes back to, the beginning of the podcast. Marie, you talked about being like a little confused, why you're here and why we celebrate you. And it's, I think it goes back to, and I think I probably speak for all of us, is like, we hear your story. And when you tell your story, I think on some level you acknowledge what you've gone through and the journey that you've had. But I don't necessarily think that you validate the impact that it's had for you and the difference that it makes for other people to hear your story. And I think you don't give yourself enough credit because I don't think that I think somebody who's not been through what you've been through, I mean, we look at that and there's no way we'll ever understand on that level. We just can't, but we can respect the hell out of it and admire the
Mhm.
strength that it took to get to that point where you were able to live unapologetically, and to be free of those things. And it's okay to toot your own horn. It's okay to brag and say, yeah, you know what? I've been through this and I am a hell of a woman, and
I
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
amazing,
here's here's where I get tripped up.
Mhm.
Okay,
And those
and
nails are just popping right
I
out of
know,
the
right?
vein. Yes.
it's something that I really struggle with, and I don't think I've overcome. Uh, I was always taught that because I used to use big words. Those 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 $2 words, those $10 words. I've got I have an expansive vocabulary. And I used to get teased and beat when I would use that vocabulary. I was over the top intelligent. My mom, my bio mom, um, it was the summer between my fifth and sixth grade year, took me to Kent State University, and the professor gave me some kind of test, and he gave this particular test to 200 graduating high school seniors. He was supposed to give me I was told he was supposed to give me a test for somebody closer to my age. Instead, they gave me that test. And I was in the top 40. And they told me that in terms of my intellect, I was equivalent to somebody that was already graduating college.
Mhm.
So, but one of the things that is a trigger for me is, well, when I talk about myself in a positive light, I am terrified. I mean, with every fiber of my being, absolutely just unmitigated terror about developing an ego. And everybody thinking, oh, well, you're just a stuck up, egotistical bitch. And that terrifies me because I don't want. How do I talk positive about myself? How do I accept that without it seeming like, oh, well, you're just egotistical? I don't know how to prevent that. So I that's why, you know, when I talk about like Mary or um the movie producer or somebody, I'm in awe because my God, they're so intelligent, they're so talented, and I can say that about them.
Mhm.
But to say it about myself is I'm being braggadocious, and I don't.
Can I make an
I
can I make an observation?
sure.
Are we gonna
You're
cry?
good at
Are we gonna
you're
cry about this, Tim?
probably.
I have no control over anyone else's emotional regulation. I'm only responsible for me. So here's what I'm going to say. And this is a few different things. Number one, stop making yourself smaller for the approval of others.
But otherwise, I'd be larger than life.
No, 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 no. Just number one, no ifs, ands, or buts. Okay. Number two things can be true at the same time. And what I mean by that is you can celebrate that you know things about things and you share those things with other people and you have knowledge that you've earned or that you've learned over time and you're willing to share that with other people and you also already celebrate other people naturally by who you are. Your inquisitive nature, your caring nature, you naturally focus on other people and their accomplishments and their celebrations. There's no ego in that. If you had an ego, the only thing you'd be concerned with is what you know and how far it can take you in life. That's not your goal. That's never been.
Mhm.
That's not who.
No.
So your ego is fully intact, perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with celebrating your intelligence. It's only arrogance if you somehow think that those things that you know put you as more important than other people.
Oh gosh, I'm okay. I
You
am
can?
less important than anybody that I know.
No.
Oh,
And
stop
Oh
it.
no.
No.
Yes.
not
Yes.
us.
To me, I am less important.
You're not. That's the thing. You deserve to take up space just as much as the rest of us.
Right.
See, there's a difference. I didn't say I don't deserve to have space.
Mm-hmm.
I do deserve space, and I will most definitely take up space.
Mm-hmm.
However, um, with that being said, your space, your existence, Morgan's space, Morgan's existence, Sheila's space, existence, Mary's, my wife's, my kids. That space and those existences as compared to my own for me is so much more important.
But do you understand that the issue? It's not more important. We all deserve to win together. We're all in this together at the same time in the same rate. That's it. We're going through things, but we're pulling in each other side by side through.
See, I guess I look at it different because to me, it's part of my goal, and I think it's part of my save a life, change a heart, change a mind. Somewhere an unstated thing in that, and that is that, and maybe it's a bit on the misogynistic part of my existence that is still there. It is my job, my goal to help others look good and succeed.
Baby girl, you got to put your own oxygen mask on first before you can help others.
I have my oxygen mask on. I exist.
But there's a difference between
and
thriving.
And don't be afraid to go big and take up space. That's all I'm saying.
Oh gosh. If I was to go big and take up, if I see, that's just it. I used to work for Denny's. I was a line cook. I've worked for numerous restaurants. I've worked for numerous companies, and they've always wanted to promote me because I was really damn good at what I do. Have you ever heard the phrase fear of success?
Yeah.
I think part of that for me is the fear of my own success is built in with that. Oh my God, I will develop an ego and forget about where I came from. And I never want to do that because that keeps me somehow grounded. It's like my wife and I are night and day. My wife likes living in this comfortable little bubble, this little shell. And I do everything I can and pull her kicking and screaming out of her shell and get her to experience things that are just things that she never imagined that she could. And then, that little bubble becomes a little bit bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger. And she does her damnedest to keep my feet on the ground because otherwise hello world, here I am.
I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah.
I mean, this might not be the appropriate time.
Oh, ask.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. When you were engaging in, the nudist resorts, and we're going to naked beaches, and we're doing these, lively experiences, was she there? What did she think?
Yes.
What,
Well,
did you
okay.
have to talk her through it? I just want to know what that
Yeah,
was like for her.
yes, matter of fact. So, all right, so um for years, early on in our marriage, um my wife is she'd like to she would sit at her desk and she'd like have her top down, but that was about the extent of it. Um our kids would come talk to us and whatnot. We'd be naked in the bedroom, but we wouldn't go outside of the room because of her dad lived with us. And then once he moved out, and I took the nudism from the bedroom out to the rest of the house, and I finally talked her into going to a nudist resort just that used to be just outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. Can't remember what it was called, but it was over in a little town called Blue Lick, off of Blue Lick Road, I think. And that was her first experience with nudism. Well, eventually, we took a vacation down to Kissimmee, Florida, to Cypress Cove Nudist Resort. And that was the first time that she was really and truly naked around a bunch of people. And she was very timid, very shy. And the bartender, remember early on in this, I said, when we're talking to you, we're not looking at your crotch, we're not looking at your chest, we're looking at your face and looking you in the eyes, because in your eyes, you're always naked. It was this bartender, this restaurant manager down at the Lakeside restaurant and bar and grill at Cypress Cove Nudist Resort that my wife had struck up a conversation during her dinner with. And my wife was telling her, yeah, it makes me scared. I'm nervous. I'm afraid. And the bartender was not a nudist. And that was the bartender telling my wife that was the key that turned the lock in her. But did I have to talk her into it? Yeah, I did. As I said, my wife is very comfortable right here in this little tiny box. And I pull her kicking and screaming outside of that box into being able to experience new things. Like I took her to her first um, Burning Man decompression. Um, I took her on her um, motorcycle ride. She was terrified of motorcycles because of her brother. And I've gotten her to the point, or she's gotten herself to the point where, yeah, she's pissed if we don't get to go on a ride. She's, we, what are we doing for our anniversary this year, dear? Oh, well, we're going to the Valentine's dance, the couples dance over at the nudist resort. Oh, okay. So, she's gotten comfortable now. That scope, that sphere that she's comfortable in has expanded. But yeah, it's a matter of talking her into it and then um, pulling her, kicking and screaming.
Just want to update the audience a little bit. You may have noticed it on drop. She has a tornado warning where she lives, and is getting the
Oh,
animals and her animals and her husband.
okay.
So we're sending thoughts out to to Jen, and hopefully we won't. Hopefully, she said the radar looks like the tornado hasn't touched down there. Just a fun
Oh,
fingers crossed it's going to pass over. So I just wanted to let everybody on the panel and the audience know that she didn't just dip on us, or she's okay. She's just in the cellar and trying to ride out the storm.
good.
Sim,
Cool.
you've already been through that today, and then you're trying to inflict it on all the rest of us. And I don't, Sim, stop being such a weather wizard already, okay? Yeah. I love how she just blows kisses at the camera like fuck you, Sheila. Yeah.
If you
Uh
have questions, ask. I am an open
yeah.
book. There's really nothing that I won't tell you about.
I appreciate what you've shared with us here tonight. We are within the last 15 minutes of our show here. And what I usually like to do as we draw up to the close of the show is to get everybody on the panel's final thoughts before we close out. Um, so what I'd like to do is I'll start with Abby. And Abby, what's your final thoughts as we close out tonight's show?
I think my final thoughts are on just the beauty of our authentic souls and how important it is to recognize that and nurture that and cherish it and love it and you know use that cherishing to kind of go out and explore the world. And maybe it's exploring the world and say going to a place where it's clothing optional and getting that chance to explore that world outside of your comfort zone. But yeah, just going back to the idea of that true authentic self and giving ourselves a chance to celebrate it.
I love it. Yeah, I think for me, when I think about the clothing optional places like that, it's I'm not in that I'm not in that place in my transition yet where I'm just like willing to just bear it all. I'm like, no, 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 no. But I love it that you've gotten to that spot in your life to where you feel that freedom. I envy that freedom, I think. And there is something to be said for there's something to be said for um finding the freedom to express oneself. Because I think we all struggle with that in some ways. And to be authentic to ourselves, we feel like life is holding us back, life has treated us unkindly, and it has in a lot of ways. But coming around it is part of the journey. And I love, Abby, your particular arc that's happening right now. And I love that you're opening yourself to those things. Y'all, if y'all are not pre-ordered the Year of Dating Myself, you do it right now. Go to Simon and
Is it
Schuster's
available?
website,
Where do I find it?
Amazon,
And it's called
Barnes
the
and Noble.
Year of Dating Myself.
Yes.
Okay. How do I get an autographed copy?
That's a great question.
And I don't necessarily have an answer to it just yet. I know that I'm supposed to eventually get some author copies. Aside from that vague, eventually you'll get some author copies. I really don't know much else.
Okay.
So send your books to Hurricane Girls and we will send them to Abby and she can sign them and send them back to you. We legitimately can do something like that
I'm very
Nice.
happy to,
at some
yes.
point. Yeah. Sim, don't make us cry. But what's your final thoughts? You can make us cry if you want to.
Um,
She's good at it.
She really is. It's disgusting.
no, I think it's just important for everyone to have that chance to live their authentic self and to be accepted and validated and to try new things that don't necessarily, fit in that box that everybody understands, but nobody else has to, right? At the end of the day, you do things for yourself because it makes you feel good. And that's really all that matters. And just doing the hard work to become who you need to become is vital, right? Because this world is hard enough right now. The last thing we really do is fight against ourselves. So
God
Yeah,
damn
that's
right.
a tough fight right there. That's a tough one. I think the hardest fight we ever fight is with ourselves.
And I think, you know, I've listened to what you say, Marie, about the ego. And I don't know if anybody in here think that I have a small ego at all. Like I don't know. Yeah. I'm I'm a bad bitch. I own being a bad bitch, and I love being the things that come with being a bad bitch. I have pretty privilege. I have all of that good shit. So yeah, take your space, be authentic, and be badass, and I love it. And Sim helps me do that because she listens to my fuck shit whenever I'm being fuck shittable. I don't know if that's a
It,
word. It is now.
it is now.
Hey, you listen to mine, so it works both ways. It's all good.
If
Mhm.
if any of you want my phone number, just reach out to me, private message on TikTok or on
Sure.
Facebook, and I will be glad to give you my cell phone number. I'm available 24/7.
Now you're gonna have a whole YouTube full of people private messaging you. What's your If you're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please just subscribe. That's all we can ask, right?
Yeah,
Morgan, what's your final thoughts for tonight?
That Marie is a beautiful person, and we laughed, we cried. It was absolutely beautiful. And why is my thingy thing? Hold on, y'all. My Zoom is acting cuckoo right now.
One thing Morgan said in the comments or in the private chat over here is that you should do ASMR recordings. Like if you would just do, Marie, like 9 to 10 hour audiobook, something that I could put on at night and sleep to every night, I'm there. I'm buying it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
your
I'm
voice is
subscribing.
very soothing, Marie, and the way you tell stories and describe it, you know, although I'm fighting to stay up, it's not because you're boring, it's because your voice is smoothing. And then the rain doesn't help either.
It
So it's
doesn't.
like,
No.
thank you, Morgan.
you're
Oh,
welcome. And the blue hair gives me life.
it does. Yes. All right, Mary, your final thoughts for tonight.
Huh. This has been a really emotional show for me, so I'm going to lighten it up a little bit.
I love it.
So I
I love you,
distinctly
Mary.
remember me too. And I distinctly remember when I started following you and why. Because I was new to TikTok and I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling and I heard a woman, this beautiful woman say she had a sheenus. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I gotta know. So I followed every single step, even if I didn't comment. And it was like every video I saw you becoming happier and happier until you were joyful. And it was just priceless and so inspirational. And then, holy fuck balls, you followed me back, right? And I fangirled. I
I
almost
did
shit
too.
myself if I'm
You
Yeah.
mean
honest. And
like I'm doing now?
but it's like having somebody who inspired me that deeply and having them follow me back. Like, how am I even worth that, you know? And and then I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you say things and I'm like, I feel a lot of that. Like I identify with a lot of that. I'm not saying I've gone through the same things, but to watch you be so inspirational and you come into my lives and you're so kind and you ask these thought-provoking questions. And I'm sorry, I'm getting upset, but I I said it to Sheila too when I was hanging out with her. I just wish that I could be that loud and proud about myself. And when you say that you don't want to take up space because you don't want to get an ego, I spent my whole life being told that I was too smart. I need to sit down and shut up. I have a huge vocabulary. That's why I like to write. And I dumb that down. But on TikTok, I feel okay doing it. And then you come along and you're like, hey, salty historian, you're worth looking at. And it's just baffling to me. So I think that you are incredibly inspirational and please take up the fucking space. Please get the fucking ego and fuck everybody else because I'm trying to now too. And so you got to join me on that.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mary.
And I just want to say for the both of you here, when I followed each one of you and y'all
I
followed me
fangirled
back,
with
I
you too.
fangirled the fuck out. Like honestly, because Mary is always like, I fangirl over you, Sheila. Bitch, you have got 6 times the following I have.
Right?
They
Like,
don't watch
like
the videos.
Yes,
but
I do.
I'm losing followers. I am losing
I
followers
do.
because I have problematic content.
But it's not even about the followers, it's about the person, it's about the presence, it's about what you do and what you stand for. And what you
All of that.
stand for, Mary, is you stand for women and telling the stories of women. And there is no more important thing right now than doing that for women, is to tell our stories and not let history repeat itself, or let it repeat itself when it worked out in our favor. I mean, that's fine. And then, Maria, I was aware of you way before you were aware of me. And we met through a mutual friend, and just been a joy getting to know you and being your friend. And Mary, don't sell yourself short, bitch. I know you're
I'm
short, but
short.
don't sell yourself short.
I had to like
Okay.
tiptoe just give you a hug.
Listen, tiptoe, you won't have to tiptoe as much. I'm not wearing those boots this time, okay?
Uh,
I can't stand at a concert for 2 hours with those boots on, but I am so happy that you are here. And speaking of being happy that you're here, again, on behalf of all of us, I want to welcome our newest Hurricane, Liz. And I cannot tell you how happy I am to have you as a part of our group, and just having you in our circle and in our sisterhood has been amazing. And I'd like, that's why I'm saving you for the final thoughts, for the last
Can
final
can I
thoughts
be
here.
rude for a second?
Sure.
Okay. Liz, um, I look at you and I want to break out into the song Cherokee people, Cherokee pride, so proud to live, so proud to die. Oh, sorry.
I've never heard it. I want to go listen now.
What's your final thoughts for tonight, Elizabeth? It's good to have you here.
Thank you. And first of all, don't have me go after Salty ever again, because that was amazing. And now I'm gonna look nuts. All right. I can't top that. To tears, all of it. Just like all the good vibes. So, I guess the only thing that I can say is, I'm really glad to be here. This is my first time that I was actually here and not on the other side of the table. So I just really feel, I know that we've all been talking and all that, but I haven't done this with you guys yet, except for when I was being interviewed, right? And so I just want to say that I really feel like I have a sense of community today with all of you. And I'm incredibly grateful to have been given this opportunity. And I feel very privileged to be here today. And about Marie, you're a remarkable, incredible woman. And I just want to thank you for everything that you shared with us today and your openness toward us. I didn't know you before I found out about you coming today. And so I did follow you in the middle of this. But what was funny is on the YouTube comments, my husband was in there going, "Oh my God, Marie." And he's like talking and saying that he's so excited to see you because he follows you. And when I was camera off for a moment, he actually came to the doorway and he's like, "You get to talk to her." So he was pretty excited that I was talking to you. So now I can tell him, and I hope he's still listening, is that Marie is my friend now.
Yes.
Justin.
Yay.
I just want
Oh, it
Justin to
was
hear that.
Justin. Yes, yes, I
Yes.
saw him.
Yes.
Justin
Justin with the
Lavas?
Chinese characters.
Yeah,
Lavas,
Lavas,
yes.
yeah.
Lavas?
Lavas,
Lavas?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
love
he
that.
was fangirling over here, and yeah, I'm the one who got to sit and talk with you. So
Well, you're the one that's
Well,
going to be sitting here every week, every Tuesday night, and I'm glad to have you.
thank you.
It's been a privilege being your friend for the past. So what have we been? Was it in a year, two? A year seems like forever, but
It hasn't only been a year.
it may have been two. I don't know. When did I? It depends on when I dated
When
that
Harm's
person.
Little Narcissist happened.
Whenever Harmful Narcissist was a thing, that was when you and I met. So I love that. Just hanging out here with my own final thoughts. Me here, I usually just piggyback off of y'all.
Real
Um,
quick, real quick, Sheila.
yeah.
One, I wanna one, I want to apologize because y'all didn't really get to ask many questions. I just kind of jumped in and rambled on and ran my yap as usual.
It's okay. You told your story
So
that we needed to hear, and yeah, we'll jump in as we need to. And we really enjoyed having you here tonight. I've enjoyed getting to know you as a sister trans woman. We're both older trans, for lack of a better word, and I appreciate what you do and the way in which you do it. It's different than my approach to it usually, but equally valid, I think. And I think that you are able to tell the stories with such passion and such relatability. And
passion and panache.
yes. And by the way, Mary, in the comments, Greg said that he was there for that, and it was funny when you got so flustered the first time I joined your live.
I was like,
It was she. I was like, "Who the fuck is she fangirling over?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's me." But anyway, yes, it's been a great night. Thank you, ladies, for getting together and making my life livable for another week. Because I'm sucking all the energy off of you here. I love the fact that we are, excuse me, everyday friends. It's not just a show. It's besties and sister and living our femhood and living it fucking loud. And with
Thanks
that
for
being
having me,
said,
everybody.
yes, you are very welcome. With that being said, my internet connection saying it's unstable. For Hurricane Abby, for Hurricane Sim, Hurricane Morgan, Hurricane Mary, the brand new Hurricane Liz, and for our honorary Hurricane, Hurricane Marie Willa, I am Hurricane Sheila Chappelle, America's ex-girlfriend, saying, chin up, tits out, ladies. Let's go get them.